Gentlemen, we welcome you here to the Iron Jungle track of the Iron Brotherhood for the third race of the second season of the MSFC. As we look at the standings heading into today, the Pantheon, off the heels of a big win from Vertigo, have taken the overall points lead, just 2 points in front of the Moon Melodies, and they are just 2 points in front of the Motown Madness. Leading us off today will be the host team, Clear of the Iron Brotherhood. And Clear had a pretty rough first race in the MSFC, but we have seen historically the host team Marble does tend to do pretty well overall. We will see if Clear can keep that trend going today. Across the first sector at 7.02. That was very strong compared to the times that we saw last season. Clear looking pretty clean through the second sector as well. Across at 19.23. This is looking very quick. Hesitating a little bit through the third sector, but I don't know how much that's going to matter. This seems like a very strong time. Clear. Across at 35.05. That is a very impressive time to beat. And by the way, comparing Clear's time to Season 1, that would put Clear with the second best time if that time was in Season 1. And speaking of the Iron Jungle Season 1, this marble right here, Kinesis, finished second place in that race. Even after a relatively disappointing first race of the season, there was no doubting Kinesis' talent. Although 4/10 back of Clear through the first sector. Trying to pick up the speed through the second sector. This does look slower than Clear so far, though. 2.5 seconds back. A good third sector can still make that time up, though. And Kinesis does look very quick this third sector. This time is actually going to end up close. Kinesis salvaged it. Not quite. But that's a heck of an effort from Kinesis to salvage a good time. 35.52. That should still stack up well. And next up, it is Colt of the Shadowhunters. And Colt had a pretty rough first race of their season, finishing 11th at the Electra Expressway. We will see if they can do better. They also raced at this track in Season 1, but did not find nearly the amount of success as Kinesis. How will Colt do this time around? Sets the second fastest time through the first sector, 7.22. But the slowest one we've seen through the second sector heading down the back straightaway. They too around 2 seconds back of Clear, but not looking as fast as Kinesis did through that third sector. Colt will set the new lowest time, but not even by that much. Still a good third sector, 36.16 for Colt. Now up is Jasper of the Icy Hots. And Jasper, despite not ultimately the best finish, did have a rather impressive first race. Flirted up in the top 5 at times at the Electra Expressway. We will see if they can have a more impressive overall finish this time around. And Jasper very close with Colt, 7.05, just 0.03 back, but not able to keep that speed up through the second sector, doesn't look like. And they too, a 1.5 seconds back after the second sector and not looking quick here in the third, can still salvage a decent time, but I think this may be the new worst. A good third sector, 35.77 though. That will slot them in a third out of 4. It doesn't seem like Clear's third sector was that good. All 3 marbles have gained considerable time on it so far. Now up is Vorpal of the Camo Hiders. And by the way, Vorpal, one of just 2 rookies that finished top half in their debut race. So that debut race could have been a lot worse for Vorpal. A lot of rookies so far have shown that their inexperience has shown, but Vorpal's did not in their first race. We will see if they can continue the positive momentum going. 7.17, that's middle of the pack. Not great, but not terrible, but like Jasper, slowing up a bit, but now picking some speed back up. That's the second fastest we've seen through the second sector at 20.35. Can Vorpal put together a good third sector? Absolutely. Vorpal is going to take the top spot, and by a good margin, 33.39. Vorpal to the top. And now up is the other marble that finished top half in their debut race this season. And by the way, all of the times that have been put up so far would have been battle for the pole caliber times in season 1. Just goes to show you how much better these marbles have gotten at circuit racing. Now up Chipper. But that is the slowest time we have seen so far through Sector 1. Chipper. Gonna need to pick up some time here. And not looking particularly quick down the back straightaway. They are about 2.5 seconds back of the leader Vorpal through the second sector. Can they make up for it in the third? Doesn't look like it. This is going to be a disappointing qualifying time for Chipper. Across the line at 37.44. That is the new worst, and by a decent margin too. Disappointing for Chipper. Now we get into the top half of teams, starting with Team Fire. Hawk, after a dreadful first race where they failed to score a point, were bailed out by Electra, who just finished second at her home track. Will Hawk be able to keep the Team Fire's positive momentum going? Remember, the last time Hawk raced at GP3, they ended up winning. Hawk with a decent time through the first sector, but nothing too shocking. Seems to be playing it rather safe through the second sector. Doesn't seem to work out that well for them, but not terribly for them. 1.7 back. It definitely could be worse. And yeah, Hawk just seems to be playing it very simple this lap. Not really taking too many risks, and it seems to work out okay for them overall. Oh, but lost a bit of time in the third sector. 36.64. And that'll put them in second to last. Next up, it is Klaus with Magnum, and Klaus back-to-back fourth place finishes, so close to a podium in both races, both of them finishing within mere inches of a podium, but in both cases, just not quite able to get it. We will see if Magnum can break through. Not great through the first sector though, 7.71. But looking mighty quick through the second sector. Magnum moving into the green, albeit just barely. Can they keep it up through the third sector? Through the bank turn, I think they lost a bit of that speed that they had. Not going to be able to get the pole spot, but a 34.78 will still take them into second place and provisionally into the battle for pole. Now we get into the top 4 teams, starting with the Starry Sky, but this marble, certainly not the expectations that you would normally have for a marble on the top 4 teams. 0. Just coming off of a dead last finish, and not a particularly close one at the Electra Expressway. It was an absolutely brutal race for them. Just barely staying on the lead lap. 7.75, not quick through the first sector and looking sluggishly slow through the second. Oh boy. 3.3 seconds back of the leader Vorpal through the second sector. Trying to get some kind of speed going, but this is going to be a new worst time. 38.44 for 0. And with that time, Vorpal is into the battle for pole. Now getting into the top 3 in the standings, starting with the Motown Madness with Zorro. And the Motown Madness, second place in the opener with Dart and a 6th place finish last week at the Electra Expressway with Zorro. A lot of momentum on this team's side. Will Zorro be able to keep it up? Zorro rather quick through the first sector at 7.35. That's one of the better times we've seen so far. looking pretty strong down the back straightaway. Very strong, I might add. Zorro is in the green. Not looking that great through the third sector. I don't think this is going to be Vorpal, but this should still be enough for a battle for pole spot. Will it be Vorpal? Not quite. 33-7-4, but Zorro is into the battle for pole. And next up is Glaive. And Glaive, third place last week at the Electra Expressway and also the winner of this race in Season 1. Will they be able to keep the Moon Melodies' great start going? Glaive strong through the first sector. Got to keep the momentum up. Stumbling a little bit there. Still not looking too bad though. 1.1 back. That is still possibly on battle for pole pace. With a good third sector, they could make it. This is going to be close with a battle for top 4 spot across the line at 35.15. Not quite enough. That's still a good time, but not quite enough for top 4. Magnum is into the battle for pole. Magnum into the battle for pole. Clear on the bubble, but it's hard to imagine that Clear feels very good about their chances with Vertigo up. Vertigo coming off of a win at the Electra Expressway and arguably the best racer on the best team. Will they be able to find their way into the top 4? Not particularly quick through the first sector, 7.84. But Vertigo, as only Vertigo does, looking very quick through the second sector. Just 0.2 back of Vorpal. This would easily be enough with a good third sector, and Vertigo has an excellent one. Vertigo will take the top spot with a purple third sector, 32.66. Vertigo takes the top spot, and they are in. Here we go, 2-lap battle for pole. It's Vertigo, it's Vorpal, it's Zorro, and it's Magnum. Vorpal does not get a good jump off the belt, and Zorro parts the seas and takes the early lead. Vertigo, a bit of a slow start, fighting to hold off Vorpal, not able to. Vorpal moves into second, and with some speed around the outside, Vorpal has the lead. It would not be the first time the Camo Hiders have won pole here before. Hare did it in Season 1. Will Vorpal be able to follow their non-existent footsteps? Zorro still very close behind. White flag, and they're side by side. Vorpal strategically gets the inside line and holds on. And now with a very quick first sector, Vorpal streaking off into the distance. Magnum is not out of it, but the battle seems to mostly be in this three-way battle for second. Vertigo is by, and Zorro falls to the back. But history will repeat itself today at the Iron Jungle. The Camo Hiders have done it again. Vorpal wins pole. Vertigo will once again qualify second, Magnum in third, and Zorro in fourth.